Hello, welcome to Operation 700, vlog number 4. Today's vlog will cover week 4 of the program, currently in the middle of a 6-week block. I'll cover the training that I've went over, so as normal we'll start off with the program overview. We'll discuss the week's training from a top-down perspective, and we'll discuss for any modifications that were made, why those modifications were made. So let's go through it. So session 1 called for 226 kilos for 4 sets of 3. Just rounded that down to 225 kilos. I think I performed 3 sets of 3, as I wanted to start tapering the volume a little bit. This 3 sets of 3 at 180 kilos or 181.5, which has been rounded down to 180. As discussed beforehand, that session is now gone from the program as a frequency of 3 lifts. I find too much on deadlift. I can't really recover from it. I find my back can't really recover in time that I can have good sessions. For that reason, this session has been pulled from the program, if you haven't been listening or you haven't been watching. So I performed 2 sets of 3 on workout 1 and a set of 3 on workout 2, which would have been workout 3. So as you can see, things are starting to get a bit heavier. Program called for 257 kilos for 2 triples. I decided to go for 3 sets of 3 at 260 to round it up, because 257 doesn't look as cool as 6 plates, obviously. And I pulled 3 sets. I went in thinking I'll pull 2 to 3 sets, and when I was warming up, as I'll discuss later, I thought I was going to miss the first rep, but I ended up pulling the first set really easy, so I went for 3 sets. Although I've only got video of one deadlift set from 260, because sod's law, the one video or the one session that I probably want a lot of video for this vlog as it's relevant was the one where my phone shut out. Okay, so this week's training went fairly well. I didn't feel like my lower back coped a lot better. As you'll know from last week, I've now removed all the stupid bars and the high reps. I'm trying to phase into more of a Chico inspired routine. It's a routine that I'm going to write myself. I'm not going to pull it off his training examples from a seminar. They're just example plans anyway, so you shouldn't just go ahead and just grab one of them. You should look to adapt one of his plans, or ideally get him to write your plan. However, I don't have enough money to pay Chico $250 a month. So from between the seminar and from his example plans, I'm going to pull together my own kind of inspire routine. And I'll start off with lower volumes and build up. We'll maybe discuss that at another time. This deadlift program is going to remain just this kind of 6-week linear program with 2 weeks of accumulation, 2 weeks of intensification, and 2 weeks of realization. One small adaptation I may need to make to next week. My missus is moving down to London next week. She's got a job down there, so I'm moving down at the back end of the week. I'm not moving, but I'm going down for the weekend, a long weekend. As such, I'm probably not going to be able to get in 4 sessions, so I'm going to need to make a bit of a compromise somewhere. So compromise I'm going to make. I'm going to perform a volume week next week. The reason for this is twofold. Number one, just with the length of week I have, I don't think it's going to be feasible to actually train the way the program is probably going to call for, so I'm going to have to adapt it anyway. Second reason being, things are going really well, as you'll see from the footage. Definitely bar speed's good. I'm feeling pretty strong at the minute, so I don't want to peak because I'm still 2 weeks out from going towards like good PB territory. So what I'm going to do, instead of doing the triples at 272, I'm just going to do some volume, and I may do 1 triple at that weight this week, possibly. We'll see how we go. I don't want to build up too much fatigue. I want to build up a little bit of fatigue, but don't want to push the intensity side of things. I'll maybe look to perform more volume around 60 to 70%. Okay, so let's watch some lifting. Okay, so I'm just going to pull them off YouTube because that worked pretty good last time, so I'll just do it again. So this is workout 1, which was Tuesday. So we're starting off here with just straight up bench press. So the way I'm going to organize my training going forward, I'm going to have 4 training sessions. Session 1 will be bench press, deadlift, bench press, and then some assistance. Session 2 will be squat, bench, squat with a little bit of assistance. Day off. Session 3 will again follow the same pattern. It'll be squat, bench, squat with some assistance, and then day 4, which will be the final workout of the week, I will go bench, deadlift, bench, and then 2 days off and repeat. So the training, this is the second training day. The first training day was squat, bench, squat, like I had said beforehand, but I trained in Pure Gym, which is mentally busy and full of retards, so I ended up only doing bench press, squat, and then some pull-ups and shit. Nothing really worth talking about. I benched up to 60%, which is 120 kilos. Squatted up to 65%, I think, which is 170 kilos. And I did some pull-ups. So this is the bench press. I think it was close grip bench press, 3 threes at 70%, which is 140 kilos. Pretty easy. Nothing really worth mentioning there, to be honest. This is just another angle. Not lifting particularly heavy on bench press, but feeling fast, feeling good. This is the interesting stuff. So this is 225. We did it for 3 sets of 3. This one small adjustment I made from the Shiko seminar. He went over quite a lot of one problem that I believe that I have, is that I feel lockout's a big problem. Like I mentioned beforehand, the 242 session from last week, I felt the bar was coming away. So there was one lifter in particular from his last from the deadlift section, where he spent about 7 to 8 minutes trying to fix this guy's technique. His main problems were he straightened up too early with his knees, so he was backing it too much from lockout, and he kept the bar was away from him in the deadlift, which I feel which sounded to me similar problems. So one of the things that Shiko recommended he do to try to fix this was a pause deadlift. Now he was recommending pausing further up the thigh, but I've always felt that pausing at the knee was quite a good position, because it let me get my leg drive into it, but also it kept me in a fairly weak position as regards to where my back is. So it really, I feel it really encourages a nice strong posture through the back. So I was doing that in the first rep of all my warm-ups. I did it on all the reps of 180 and on, I don't know, like 60 kilos or whatever I was doing in my warm-up. And then I just did it on the first rep of every set of 225, so you'll see it here. So it's a bit of a discussion or a bit of rationale behind why I'm doing this. So up, pause. Oh, I didn't pause that. Maybe it was just on the first set. Okay, this is the final set. So I'll just go back. Okay, so you'll see here what I was talking about. Up, take that pause, and then really try pull the bar back into my thighs as I lock out, and also as I do that, just get those hips jammed forward to finish the lift. Pretty decent session, felt good afterwards, and then it's just a normal grip bench press with chains. I think I did 2 sets of 5, 2 sets of 4. No, sorry, I'm talking shit. I did 3 sets of 6. with 100 kilos and 40 kilo chain. So that was that workout. Fairly decent. Now we'll go to workout 3. So again, workout 3 was squat, bench, squat. I did 3 sets of 3 at 70% on back squat, which is 200 kilos. Or it's 195 kilos, but I rounded it up. These felt pretty easy. Maybe I was on a lower heeled shoe, I had my Ironworks on, so it felt a bit funny because they were in Murrayfield. I was at the university training, so we didn't have them available. Just feet up bench press. Did 2 sets of 5 at 100 or 50%, and then a set of 4 at 70 or 60%, which is 120 kilos, and then finished up with 3 sets of 3 pause squat at 50%, which is 140 kilos. I really like how the drive is on these squats. It looks very efficient. Looks like I get a lot of my strength into the bar, which is ideal. So that's a positive. And as you can see at the minute, squat loads are very light, bench loads are very light. They're probably going to remain fairly light for the next while. I'm just gonna build up my volume linearly over the next 4 weeks to get used to this style of training, and then I'll start fluctuating a wee bit more. So this is yesterday's workout. So normal bench press, 70% for 3 threes. Here's 180 kilo warm up. So as you see there, pausing, pulling in like we were discussing earlier. This felt like absolute gash. It looks pretty quick, but it felt like shit. Okay, so this is the 260 I'm about to pull here. So a little bit of preamble into this. I'll not keep you too long. I came in, so we just finished the setup for the game. I had a headache. I was sweating. Although fat lads pretty much do sweat all the time anyway. I was feeling pretty shoddy basically. And I warmed up and I pulled that 180 for 3 pause, like you seen. That didn't feel the best. And then I pulled 220. I was like, I'm gonna fail the first rep at 260 here because I feel like absolute shit. My back was fine. I felt like my back was stiffening up a little bit as I started the lift, but it wasn't like last week where it was like an absolute fucking agony for about 4 or 5 days after the last workout. It was feeling actually pretty good. I felt the day beforehand that my back was feeling real good and I was gonna have a good session. And my back's pretty fatigued today, but it's to be expected after the heaviest session of the week. So we'll just have a little watch of the video. As you can see, it was pretty straightforward. I actually surprised myself a lot from the first rep. Just like, holy shit, that was the easiest 260 I've ever done in my life. And then I continued on for 3 sets of 3, which ended up pretty straightforward. I think I've definitely got a lot of hypertrophy here in my hamstrings. I don't know if that's come from the higher frequency I've been using in the last while, and I just felt real strong. And then this is the final, just 2 sets of 8, 110 close grip bench press with 40 kilo chain, and then finish up with some pull-ups. So that was week 4 of the training program. All in all, pretty decent. Fairly happy with how things are progressing. So as I mentioned, going into next week, it may be a bit more of a volume week. I'm definitely going to be training with less volume because I ain't got the time because of life and stuff. Life's getting in the way again. Stupid life. Hope you've enjoyed it. Any comments, questions, please leave them below. If you'd like to ask me any questions or get in touch about coaching or whatever you want, my email is speedpowerperformance@gmail.com. The website, of course, is castironstrength.com. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next week. Cheers.